All right, boink. There we go. Do it live. We'll do it live. What's up, everybody? Let's see. I got a screen in front of me there, so let's click. Okay, cool. We got Kevin Hawthorne in the house. What's up, Kevin Hawthorne? Let's see something here. I just noticed. Let's see. What we got? Okay, there we go. I just noticed something on. I don't really watch my accounts very much, but I did put $25,000 into VTI at 262. Was at 262 in the midst of the Trump is going to destroy everything, Josh. Trump is going to destroy everything. It's going to be a massive slaughter like we've seen in 1987, says Jim Cramer. And now VTI is trading at what? It's trading at Denise Que Paso. So you can comment here, Denise. I think we got your results. What the hell's VTI trading at here? Hold on a second. So I put 25,000 to work at 262. It's trading at 303 now. So we take our choicey calculator. What's my take on SPYI? I don't know what SPYI is. You got to tell me what it is. Market all-time highs. Yay! We like it. I'll take it because that means it has more room to grow. Anyway, hold on. So let me figure out what I'm doing here. 25,000 divided by 262 is 95.41 shares times 303. Yeah, look at that. I made $4,000 in a couple months' time. So I'll take it. Divided by 25. That's 16%. That's not even including dividends. Not much dividends. So basically, I made what? 17% in 4 months' time. So, I mean, again, here's the market right here. It's a covered call ETF. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of covered calls. Here's the market right there. That's VTI. And you can see that we're right back to where we were. Now, everyone and their moms could say, they'll all say this. They all say this. It drives me flipping crazy. I'm glad you shaved and combed your hair, and all you need is dye your hair. Fast said, I know you're trying to get jiggy with me, but I don't go that way, buddy. I don't. Look, I get it. I mean, I'm in the future, in an earlier time, I might have experimented, but those days, my experimentation days are behind me. 2-week YouTube timeout is over. I haven't been on for 2 weeks. I guess I'm right, because last week is in Hawaii and the week before is an upburn. So yeah, I guess, but I wasn't canceled or anything. I was hanging out with my family there, Celtic Spirit. How dare you? Look at Fast Eddie. He's like, Josh, you'd be more attractive if you shaved, combed your hair, and dyed your hair. Yeah. Next thing you know, Fast Eddie's gonna want me to wear like high heels or something like that. Like, dude, that's not. He's still upset about Meredith Baxter Birdie. That's right. Did she really go to the other side, MBB? Because I think her real name is Meredith Baxter. I think Bernie was her husband's name. Dude, she was so freaking hot, dude. I was like, dude, I freaking could have done better with NVDA, NVIDIA. All right, so anyway, so there you go. And everyone, their mom says, I sold here and I bought here. And it's not true, man. It's just not true. I mean, I hate when I hear that stuff. Because everyone says, buy the dips, buy when it's low. And I'm like, with what cash? What cash? What cash are you going to buy the dips with? You should be invested. I just happened to have some cash because I got nervous about, to be perfectly honest with you, I said I got nervous about my business. Anytime you're self-employed, you got to have some cash on the side to see you through a couple bad months. You see what I'm saying? I didn't see an active volcano in Hawaii. We just went to the beach. We went to the beach. We took some surfing lessons, took my kids jet skiing, and then we went to a pineapple farm. That was it. So yeah, stuff out there is, I mean, all these things cost like hundreds of dollars per excursion. Even going to the freaking volcano is like freaking crazy. Anyway, the point being is all these idiots will say, see, buy the dips. I'm like, with what cash? I hear it all the time. I sold right before the market crashed. I was like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Or they'll say, I bought right when the market was at its bottom. Dude, I hate when people say, because I know they're full of crap. I do. I just know it. I'm like, dude, even if you did all that, I mean, because, like, I get it. If you did all that, you're freaking a magic man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, look at T. But you did it. And I don't know why these guys got to pretend like they did. So the best thing to do, of course, is just to buy and hold. And that's what buy and hold means. Just hang in there. Then again, and there's buy and hold. So, I mean, look at this. You forget how bad that was right here, 2022, right? We forget that, 2022, because we're way up here. We forget all the Trump, oh my goodness, and then we're up here. And then if you go back 10 years, everyone forgets 2000, Q4 2018, right there, Q4 2018, everyone forgets that. 2015, everyone forgets that because it's well behind. Look at that, dude. Look where the S&P, that's VTI. Look where it has gone in 10 years. I mean, we're talking VTI was at 107, now it's at 307. That's just in 10 years. And everyone forgets what happened in 2020. They forget what happened in Q4 2018. Q2 of 2015, buy and hold every day, 100%. It's a lot of IG influencers take those helicopter tours in Hawaii, probably funded by their sugar daddies or OF revenue. Yeah. I don't understand these guys who, oh my goodness. Can you imagine paying some chick on OnlyFans to, it's weird. Whatever. I mean, people got to do what they got to do. I find that, I got a relationship with freaking Shelly on OnlyFans and she likes me. It's like going to, I've never been to Hooters because that's just so stupid. But the idea, like, go to Hooters, like, oh, she's winking at me. Dude, come on, man. Come on. It's freaking being stupid. Richmond, Virginia. Hey, Josh, news report this Social Security out by 20. What's your take? Well, it's always been like that. All right. News report this week, Social Security out by 2033 at 2034. Yeah, it's not going to be out first and foremost. I mean, literally, as it sits here, the worst thing is going to happen. Put a lot of money in VChat and brokerage account in the year 2000. What I'm saying. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the only thing, it's been the same story for years and years and years. But even if it went kaput, you're still getting 75% of your benefits. That's just a fact. So even if it had no money coming in, that everything's going out the door, they still got enough from employees to pay 75% of the benefits. Hooters is bankrupt now. Man, I have no idea. I always could not stand that. It's just, I find it like maybe I'm a prude. Hi, puppy. How come you can open that door? I guess I'm just a prude. I just, the idea of freaking chicks showing their wares and winking at you is just, come on. It's embarrassing to me. I've always been embarrassed by that stuff. I went to like one strip club when I was in the Army. I just like, I mean, look, some freaking sexy chicks, I get it, but I was like, it's embarrassing. I hated it. I was like, no, I don't like this stuff. We went to Kingston, Ontario, right up so we're in Fort Drum, New York. And it's an hour and a half, 2 hour drive to Kingston, Ontario. You only had to be 18 to drink there. Fast Eddie goes to Hooters. Of course he does. Look at Fast Eddie. Fast Eddie's going to Hooters. Fast Eddie is like the biggest. Whenever Fast Eddie goes in, they go, how Norm at Cheers. Hey, good morning, everybody. Norm. Fast Eddie goes, hello, Fast Eddie. Who's it? Hooters. No, I know it's not a strip club. I don't like Hooters. I don't like strip clubs. I've never been to Hooters. And here goes Pablo. And I only went to one strip club once, and I was embarrassed to have gone there. But I went. I actually had a friend of mine who dated from the Army, who dated a stripper up there, and kind of funny. We have gas station chicken wings here. Sticking with brokered CDs and T-bills yielding about 4.4. And Social Security isn't going anywhere. When will people finally realize? Yeah, but I mean, I get it, Ted. You just came inside. I get it, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's it's got something. I mean, the facts are the facts that it will pay 75 cents on the dollar unless something is done by 2033 or 2034. And I mean, I don't think that's all that difficult to resolve. My man Andrew Biggs wrote an article about, and I didn't do a video on it today. I meant to, and I forgot. He wrote an article about how Social Security can reduce a trade deficit. I thought that's kind of interesting. And I liked it. He said, hey, why don't we just tax, or what did he say? He said, I want to see if I can't find that. It's a pretty good article, actually. What did he say? He said, why don't we just not give benefits anymore, or stop taxing people after they make $59,000 a year. And so your max benefit will whatever it is at $59,000 a year. And I said, that sounds pretty good to me. I mean, I would rather not pay into Social Security and have my own money, 100%. I'd much rather do that. So his argument is stop once you break 59,000, you don't pay any more taxes and you don't get any increase in benefits. He said that what ultimately what that would do would it would help the trade deficit, and frankly the trade deficit is okay. I'm not sure I bought into that argument, but okay. And then it would help alleviate Social Security's deficit. I said I get that. I'm not sure about the trade deficit thing, but anyway, the point being was why should people have a chance to live off $100,000 of Social Security? I completely get his argument. I'm all about it. And then I commented. I said, well, so you would not pay taxes after 59,000. Sign me up. And then but unfortunately, he addresses that in his article, which says, no, you still have to pay taxes after 59,000 bucks for at least, I don't know, 5 to 10 years, but you wouldn't get any increase in benefit. I said, no, that's not, it's not going to fly. So if you're, so think about it. If the max tax, the cap is 170 right now, and let's just say you're self-employed. Right. And Andrew is saying after 59,000, you don't get any further benefits for Social Security, but you still got to pay tax. That means you'd have an extra 110,000 subject to FICA. 110,000 if you're self-employed times 12.4%. That's a tax. That's $13,640 extra I would pay in taxes, you as a self-employed person, or even half that if you're W-2, but your employer is paying the same. Either way, it's $13,640 extra Social Security taxes that you're going to have to pay, either you or you and your employer, either way. And you're not getting any increase in benefits. I said, it's not going to fly, man. No one's going to accept that. And so the facts are they're just going to have to go to the general fund. I don't know why this is so challenging to me. It's like everyone's like, I've said this a million times a Sunday. The Department of Education is out of money. The military is out of money. All these entities are out of money, but the only people focus on is Social Security. It's strange. It's the weirdest thing to me. And the only thing I could possibly think is a fear campaign to get people to still work. It's the only thing I could think about it. Now, remember, there is value in labor. Labor, I don't want people sitting around picking their butts all day long. I want you to do stuff, hang out with your family, go volunteer for your church, all that stuff. We don't want you to escape from the workforce just to sit around and be a freaking clown. That's not, to be leisure and just, command the poor Costa Ricans to, rub your freaking bunions. We don't want that. You know what I'm saying? We want you to go out there and make stuff happen to glorify God in all things you do. But that does not mean you got to be a miserable person at a laborious job because you're like, oh, they're going to run out of Social Security. I don't understand. They don't have the money to fund any of this stuff. And yet Social Security is the only thing that gets people scared about it. It's the weirdest thing. Let's see. Yeah, those dogs have Josh, they 100%. Mostly young, shapely women who need the money in exchange for humiliating themselves. La Casa Milica. Ugh. Can you imagine a strip club in Millinocket, Maine? Ugh. Yeah, it's sad, dude. So I guess they don't do strip. I don't know. I remember, but like Jason Whitlock, he talked about all the strip clubs that he'd go to when he was not just a scumbag. I said, man, how much money do you really these chicks don't like you? Do you really think it's weird to me, man? And I was like these NBA guys, they go there and lay out all kinds of money. I'm just like, I mean, if you're going to lay down a bunch of money, you get any chick to like you. I mean, that's just a fact. I'm going to lay down this money, I can get chicks to like me. That's not really I don't know. It's just weird. Your tan offsets your pearly yellows nicely. It does. Look at those pearly whites now. Twin Peaks, just like, yeah, I was working with some guys at USA, and they had a Twin Peaks down there in not Midtown. I guess it was Midtown, Atlanta. And they'd go to Twin Peaks for lunch. And I was like, I find that embarrassing because chicks aren't going to go with you. The ladies you work with. And I just find it disrespectful to say we're going to go to Twin Peaks for lunch. I was like, so you're basically saying don't come with me, women? Yeah, I don't like that. I find that, look, I was raised by hippies. All right. So my mom was very diligent as a hippie, somewhat of a feminist. So I've always been very hostile, if that's the right word, to that whole freaking industry of I hate it. I just women selling their bodies for freaking exposure. Well, I was listening to my man Rick Beato today. Man, he did a great. I didn't know some chick. Who is this stupid chick? Let's see if I can't find that video. Is Rick Beato talking about? Hold on a second. I'll find it. Do you have been watching these baseball card opening things lately?
Well, everybody, today we're opening up a pack of 1974 Topps baseball cards.
Oh man, I don't know what's going on. Just I love these videos where the guy opens up older baseball cards. Kind of strange. Anyway, so let's see if I can't find that video of Rick Beato. Hold on, because it's who's he talking about? All right, how do people not know this about pop music?
By massive groups of art, all of it is.
And he talks about someone named Sabrina Carpenter. I don't know who she is. It literally sounded like crap to me, like Randy Marsh in South Park. It sounded like crap. I was like, this sucks. The video is stupid. And I'm like, anyway, my daughter was telling me that Sabrina Carpenter was kind of like no big deal until she got like a little slinky and her fake blonde hair and short shorts and stuff. I was like, what? See, it's just, anyway, it turns out the same people who wrote the lyrics for Sabrina Carpenter are the same people. It's like two people. They write all the lyrics for Taylor's, what the hell's her name? Taylor Swift, some of these other stupid chicks. I'm just like, and dudes too. I'm like, it's like these two guys, or one's chick and one's a guy. And this is nuts. I mean, it's like the media is not the media, the freaking industry is completely controlled from upstairs. And it's crazy to me, man. And so what they do is they say, we need you to show some skin if you're going to be a lady. Otherwise, no one's going to like you. And then young girls, they think that's what you're supposed to do. If you want to be popular, you got to show some skin. And then the minute they get famous, like that stupid Katy Perry, they pretend they don't have to show skin anymore. You see what I'm saying? And then Katy Perry went all stupid ugly. It's like now you're doing that. You're like rebelling against the fact that you were sexualizing yourself to get famous. It's embarrassing. I mean, all these people suck. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hated pop music because it's completely fake. Completely fake. These two people write the lyrics and create the songs. And then someone named Sabrina Carpenter says, yeah, I'll step in there and I'll show some skin and make my booty show and I'll get all Pablo, you got to make up your mind, buddy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just, all right, yeah, you can one or the other, but stay. I just like it's embarrassing to me. I've always hated that crap. And I hated it when freaking, they used to do it. I hated it back in the day when they have to do it. I hate it now. I hate that you got to sexualize yourself. Like I've always hated this about freaking girls volleyball. So why do girls volleyball have short shorts when they play volleyball? The only reason is to get men to like volleyball. I don't care what anybody says. There's absolutely no reason girls need to wear short shorts to play volleyball. There's absolutely no reason. Or women's track and field. There's absolutely no reason they need to wear that stuff. There's only reason to get men to watch. There's no other way around that. No other way. Because men don't wear short shorts when they're playing volleyball. And men have packages down low, if you know what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? So they don't need to wear short shorts, and the women don't either. Everyone knows this. I get it. It's attractive without question. Yeah, look at my man who gave me $5. Who is that? Chuck Hare. Yeah, right on. Look at Chuck Hare. Hey, look at Chuck Hare says huge retirement fan retired after we spoke. Right on, Chuck. Chucky H in the house. Yeah, Chuck's a legend. I just find that stuff embarrassing. I find men who follow that stuff suck donkey balls. And if you're freaking contributing to OnlyFans, you suck, dude. You just look. You shouldn't do that, man. You shouldn't be freaking sexualizing women just for them to bat their eyes at you. It's freaking stupid. But I guess the way it's always been. No action on Social Security until 2033 or 24. I 100% think you're right. Yeah, absolutely. I thought Jill B was in the Philippines. Jolly, I don't know what the hell you talking about. Jolly B. If you had a sizable balance in a 401k, would you pay off your mortgage and be clear of it? I would. Yes, if I had enough money to have my 401k still remain intact and my mortgage be gone, I would. Absolutely. 100%. Recognizing you're going to have to pay tax on the distribution. And if you're under the age of 59 and a half, you have to pay a penalty. But man, just think how, let's just say for simplicity, you had 500,000 in 401k, 250,000 in a mortgage. You're like, man, I could just be done with this thing. and let's just say your mortgage is running you 5%. You're like, well, I could get 8% in my IRA. Yeah, you could. You're going to lose 10 to 15 to 20% of the taxes. You could 100%, but you might not. If the market goes completely kaput, a la 2007, 8, and 9, you're down 57% and you still get the mortgage. So I'm just telling you, man, being free and clear of the mortgage is just, I've never been free and clear of a mortgage. We rented for a couple of months when we moved back from Arizona to Virginia. And, but renting is not something I want to do in retirement either. I want to be free and clear of the mortgage. So if I could have enough money to keep enough liquidity and time for that remaining liquidity to grow and have my mortgage paid off, I'd do it. That's stupid. Dude, I get it. That's still, you're an idiot. I don't like 100% get it. I'm just saying my experience as a financial planner dictates that people who have no mortgage are more relaxed and they're able to retire easier than people who have a mortgage. That doesn't mean it always works like that. I'm just telling you, I've been doing this for a long ass time, my friends. And not having a mortgage does two things. It reduces your cash flow needs because you don't have a mortgage payment, and it reduces your freaking stress about the markets because you no longer have a mortgage. You basically took the gains. Now remember, just think about this for simplicity. We go back to VTI. You made me feel like dancing. Look, I like hot chicks. I just want to be very clear. I'm not against hot chicks. I just don't think it's appropriate for hot chicks to sexualize themselves to get men's attention and wish to receive money from that. And then idiot men turn around and think, oh, she likes me. She really, really likes me. It's freaking embarrassing, dude. It's kind of like South Park with Butters when he went to their version of Hooters and the chick was all, hi. The whole thing was so stupid. Anyway, so let's just say this is 10 years ago. And look at those gains. You're like, man, I could take some of those gains, give Uncle Sam his share, give to Caesar what's Caesar's, and then take the rest and pay off my mortgage? You kidding me? Hell yeah. I do that 2 seconds flat. What percentage of people make over 170 a year? Not very many. Trump got a lot of W's. Texas basically banned porn. That's what we need more of, dude. Social Security is absolutely an earned benefit. But what Andrew's arguing, I think it's right, is that he's saying at the end of the day, we'd rather have you have less of a benefit and less taxes so you can save it on your own, essentially. I completely agree with that. I think a lot of people have this misunderstanding or false, what's the word I'm looking for? They think here's the thing with Social Security. It is an annuity, the safest annuity there is. And what happens when you have an annuity is that you're allowing your leftover money to be invested more aggressively. This is what people have a pension. They're able to be more aggressive because their pension is a bond. People have Social Security and a pension. They can be more aggressive in their investments because those two things are a bond. And so what happens here, you see the portfolio booming like this, partly is because people can contribute to the 401k knowing they have a baseline for income. And as such, they're willing to take on more risk because they say, at the end of the day, the worst case scenario is I'll get $3,000 a month in Social Security. As long as I can get my money to grow, everything above that's icing on the cake. I'm telling you right now. So I think a lot of these people, they live in this thing like, because the markets return 12% a year, whatever the hell it is. You know what I'm saying? If we invested our Social Security in the market, we'd be much better off. I'm like, you're missing the point, though. The point is Social Security, the cushion allows you to be more aggressive, which allows you to be more invested in stock, which allows the price to go up higher than it might otherwise have been. Now, I can't validate that or prove that because we don't have any. It's kind of like the vaccines. You can't prove the vaccines cause damage or not because we don't have a target we can offset. We cannot sit there and say, let's compare the people who have all the stupid vaccines compared to the people who don't, because we are not allowed to have a group of people that we can compare because they say, well, it's risky to have. And that's the same thing here. We have no measure in which to run these numbers. It's people who could invest in Social Security versus not. We just don't. I guess you could say the old days of CSRS before FERS came out, I suppose you could run those numbers best, 50, 45 years ago or something like that. I guess you could say the people who are subject to WEP and GPO, those days are gone. I don't even think that would be a good market to compare to. Anyway, so it's the same thing. We don't have any comparison. So you have to say, well, let's try a sample size. I'll give 10,000 people the right not to invest in Social Security. Let's see what they do. What agreement to change the law? Yeah, to take it from the general revenue. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yes, change the law isn't. Why do people think changing the law is a big of a deal? They had to change the law to tax it in 1983. They had to change the law to tax it in 1993. I don't. People get all wrapped around this. Oh, they have to change the law. Yeah, that's right. If you want to save Social Security, you have to change the law. That's all there is to it. Save Social Security where you get 100% of your benefits. You have to say, yeah, we're gonna have to make it so Social Security can get general revenue funds. I don't know why that's. I don't get why people get all caught up in that. It's the weirdest thing to me. They could make more money on YouTube. Yeah, I don't think so, Penelope. I mean, I'm telling you, man, my YouTube revenue is way down. And I mean, that's always to be expected in the summer months. It's always more during political campaigns and around basically fall and winter. Everybody knows that. But, at the end of the day, my revenue is down significantly from what it was. We got spoiled, us YouTube guys, in COVID times. We were making bank in COVID, and those days are gone. And we'll never come back again. We're just making back, you know what I'm saying? And the sad thing is, not only are those days gone with the advertisers, but there's more people competing for lesser and lesser real estate. That's just a fact. So YouTube was I thought for sure, I was like, man, I think I made like 9,000. I think my best month ever, I'll tell you what it was. I think I made like 9,500 one month. I was like, dude, I could live off this. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Let's go to analytics. And was it tell me my best month ever? Let's go to revenue. I mean, with that said, since I've been doing YouTube, I've made a total of. So I've been doing YouTube since March of 2018. I made $330,000 bucks on YouTube. $330,000 from March of 2018. That's pretty good money, man. My best month I made. That's my best day. Does it give my best month? Oh, maybe not. No, but I'll show you the revenue stream. You can see it right here. You can see what happened after COVID. Okay. Come on. Stop. There you go. So you can see that's my revenue stream. Can you also, oh man, I just screwed up. Right. So that's my revenue stream right there. And so this is the beginning. And here's COVID. You can see it gradually going down because we got so much money right there. It was crazy. So I had a video that went somewhat viral when I talked about Trump and gold, and I don't know why YouTube promoted that, but I made $600 on that. I had one video I made in November 2022. I made $665 on a video. So the YouTube revenue has been going down because it jumped up so much during the COVID times. It's crazy. And people were making bank. I was making bank. I mean, I remember I had 1 month, I made like $9,000, something like that. I was like, damn, dude. I mean, 9,000, if I made it over 12 months, whatever, 9 times 12, whatever that is. Ooh, man, that'd be some pretty sweet money just from doing this. But again, as long as YouTube pays my mortgage, I'm comfortable with that. You know what I'm saying? And YouTube does. I mean, will I continue to pay my mortgage? Well, the way the revenue stream is, I'm not so sure, but I hope so. But see, the thing is, I like this. I like doing these videos. Get back and forth with Fast Eddie and Penelope. Penelope talks smack on me and pulverize and all this stuff. I find it enjoyable and fun. You know what I'm saying? I got something to say, and that doesn't mean anyone's got to listen to it. But I'm an experienced financial planner, dude. I mean, I've been following politics my whole damn life. I know a couple things. I know a lot about politics, economics, financial planning, and somewhat sports. And so I'm going to talk about it, and people don't have to like it. They don't have to. It's just fun for me. And so as long as I'm making money, but not even as long as I'm making money, as long as I'm having fun, I'll keep doing it. It's fun for me. And I don't get why these people it's like I don't know. I got to make it a perfect video. Dude, there's no such thing as a perfect video. There's just not. As I always say, my most profitable video was when I almost didn't publish. Because I was like, I was talking too much about Walter Payton in the video and sports. And I said, I probably should, just make this clean up and say, screw that, I'm going to publish it. And that's my biggest video of all time. Now, I can't tell you how many people, you just talk about sports, Walter Payton. It's funny, dude. I was like, okay, it was only a 6-minute video anyway, which is pretty short for your old buddy Josh. But Conyer Ron says Twin Peaks has great. Yeah, sure they do. Sure they do. Like I read Penthouse magazine for the articles. Conyer Ron. Conyer Ron says Twin Peaks has great food. Oh, the ladies are dressing skimpily. Who knew? I like Penthouse because I think the articles are freaking right, very informative. Oh my goodness. Connie Ron says women are selling body at Twin Peaks. I think there's zero expectations. No, I don't think they're even saying that at Hooters. I just think when you got to show your wares, I find that embarrassing. No, freaking Kanye Ron is trying to make up excuses why he's going to Twin Peaks because the food's so good. I short shorts. Oh, dude, can you imagine seeing Jeremy from Maine in short shorts? Oh, dude, I can't get out of my head. That's freaking. Yeah, 100%. I mean, and to be perfectly honest, I mean, the volleyball players are freaking. I mean, they're hot. Dude. Look at lacrosse girls; they wear short skirts and stuff. It's hot without question. I just find it funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we know what we're doing. We're playing to an audience, and it's one thing if you're a college girl. It's a whole other thing if you're in 8th grade. I find, but there's perverts everywhere. My wife is one time we're watching my daughter play lacrosse. No, we're watching a football game at the local high school here. That was like 6 years ago. And some perv was out there pretending he was taking a video of his son, but he's actually taking a video of the cheerleaders. It's freaking disgusting, dude. My wife, because she could see it, because she I was like, what the hell, dude? Look, I like chicks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gay, believe it or not. Men don't have any appeal to me at all. Hot chicks generally, I just like women. Always have, always will. I'm a sucker for the ladies. But at the end of the day, I'm not a sucker for fakeness, and I just think all that stuff is fake. And I think at the end of the day, when people are encouraging girls to show more skin to get more eyes from men, I pisses me off, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. Especially when young girls follow this, they think they gotta do this freaking, I don't know what the hell it is. I don't like it. Pop music just sucks, dog. Hey, John Lyons. Pop music literally is the worst. Any new artist you are taking a chance on. I came across this band. I can remember what they were. Yeah, I sound like metal. I like bluegrass, metal. Punk rock. I like hardcore punk, not punk per se. And there's some good punk bands, but generally speaking, I'm more of the metal guy. And I just came across who was that on Spotify? A couple good Spirit World. Oh man, that was pretty badass. Spirit World is pretty badass. And then there's some chick who sings for his metal band. I'm gonna draw a blank who they are, but dude, they were freaking badass. I think, yeah, King Witch right here. Yeah, these guys rock. King Witch right there. I like women punk singers, women metal singers. When they're not being stupid, like bleh, I don't like all that. When they hit those, I just think the taking the down, tuned guitars of metal, the double bass, and with a woman's voice who sings well. Oh, dude, this sounds fantastic. So King Witch, I'm a huge fan of. They're probably Swedish or something like that. But yeah, they crush, man. And then Spirit World, a couple bands that came across. Just came across these guys, False Heads. They're pretty good. More of a pop punk band, I guess, but I liked them. I thought they're enjoyable. Took my kids to see Murphy's Law, Total Chaos, and some other band down here in Atlanta about a month ago, and that was fun. I still always love the Tossers, one of my favorite bands of all time. It's like an Irish punk band, Irish folk rock band. I just like Dropkick Murphys. I hate that, but more like the Pogues. If you're familiar with the Pogues, they're from Chicago. So took my wife to see them in Philly, and that was in 2012 or some of that. Love the Tossers, such a good band. I don't know how these guys get paid, to be honest with you, because punk rock doesn't pay the bills. But yeah, so I like a lot of stuff. There's a good band that's been around for a long time, but I've liked them a long time, called Torch, Torch with an E, with a little thing on the E. It's fantastic. It's kind of like a Helmet, except the guy sings, which I like. Women's Yeah, dude, women's pole vault highlights. Dude, I've looked at women's pole vault highlights too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think no tax on Social Security is going to make it into the beautiful bill. That's for sure. Uh, Lessens your RMDs using IRA. Oh, good point. Look, Kanye Ron, while he's sitting there trying to make excuses while he's going to Twin Peaks, he does say if you do pay off your mortgage with the IRA, it does lessen your RMDs in the future. Good point, man. No mortgage equals peace of mind. You make me feel like I want to do VTI. I don't want to encourage you to do VTI. Just do what you got to do. Scott says, I got 1.5 million retirement assets, 180 on the mortgage. I agree with you, but other experts say it's a bad move financially. Yeah, screw the other experts. The experts, how are they basing their experts on? Well, we spreadsheeted it. Oh, your spreadsheets. Gotcha. How do you quantify, stupid experts, the feeling of not having a mortgage? I just want to know, how do you quantify that, experts? You know what I'm saying? So I was talking this lady today. I did a video on a frame. She got like $1.5 million in her pre-tax accounts. You know what I'm saying? Her IRAs, 68 years old. Not much we can do now. And I said, and she goes, I should have been like you because I have everything in the Roth. And I said, look, I guarantee we can model this all day long to make me look like an idiot and you look like a genius. I guarantee. The interesting thing is, because I have experience and I've worked with so many people, I know for a fact one of the things that is a pet peeve of people in retirement is when they have to pay Uncle Sam first on the retirement account distributions. It's one thing if the cash flow is flowing freely. It's a whole nother thing when they need that money to live on. And when they need that money plus a new roof for $20,000, and we're going to get that roof for $20,000, it's going to come from your IRA, which means it's actually $25,000 for a new roof because you got to pay tax on that $20,000 distribution. And all of a sudden now, because you're single, that puts you up in the IRMA categories as subject to Social Security taxation, the whole thing. I say, see, so model that, experts, model that and tell me I'm wrong. Now, I might well be. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, there's something in our brains that say, you know something, it feels good never to pay tax again, never to freaking have a mortgage again. And how do you quantify that in some stupid spreadsheet? You can't. That's why financial planners who just focus on what the software says is freaking stupid. The software, junk it. Do you know who's producing the software? A bunch of freaking guys in India, for heaven's sake, probably. You know what I'm saying? It might be great software, but it doesn't help you specifically to your position in life, which is, what do you want to accomplish? I don't want a mortgage. If that means I got to pay a little bit extra in taxes this year not to have a mortgage, so be it. If I can go night, it's just the oldest profession is no good. No, look, man, I've always thought we should legalize prostitution. What I'm saying, I got no problem with that. People want to freaking pay for it. Do what you got to do. But what I'm saying is but we know it's a transaction by adults. They're making a transaction right there. People want to do that. I don't have a problem. But that's not what's going on in some of these places. OnlyFans, freaking strip clubs, Hooters. It's this wink, wink. Oh, I might have a chance. I did have a friend. Now I think about it. No, we did go to Hooters once, and that's right. This guy in freaking Virginia. Oh, a perfect example. This guy was a Navy guy, which meant he didn't like the ladies, and we went to Hooters, and he's like, I'll never forget, dude. I was like, you like this? Because he like they're fawning on. And I was like, it was weird to me because he said the same thing. Chicken wings. Now I remember that was like yesterday. It must have been 93. So I just like going to Hooters for the chicken wings. And he's got a geek guy, got a real big geek. And I was like, okay. And we went to Hooters and I said, I don't think they're all that in a bag of chips or whatever. But he just liked being fawned on, by chicks with, with chesty McGee's. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's weird to me, man. I don't like it. It made me feel uncomfortable. Do you think in 10 years they'll take up a percentage of Social Security payments from our Social Security to cover our medical premiums as not to raise medical premiums drastically? Well, they already do that. I mean, your medical premiums are your Medicare premiums come from your Social Security check. So I don't get it. So that's what's happening already. They're already taking your medical premiums, i.e. Medicare Part B and D, from your Social Security check. So that's already happening. Here's John Lyons. Josh has pile cash. We have a mortgage. The month we both retired, relaxing, retire 100%. John. I got a mortgage. Look at my man. Look at this guy. My man Jerry Gilbreth, super sticker, $3.99. Jerry, I don't care what you say. You're all right by me. Oh, look at Chuck. Chuck here. Thanks, Chuck. Love you. Well, my name's Josh there, Chuck. How dare you? But I love you back, baby. Yeah, South Park was raisins instead of dude, that just occurred to me. Why? Oh my god, dude, South Park is so funny. Raisins instead of oh. I didn't get the joke until just now. Oh. Oh man, that is dude. Oh my god, the best South Park ever was when Cartman saying, Kyle, he knows he has a thing of gold. And Kyle's like, I don't have a thing of gold just because I'm, an Abrahamic religion that's not Christian Muslim. I don't carry around a bag of gold. And Cartman's like, I know you do. And they're about to get burned alive in a fire. And all of a sudden, Kyle produces the thing of gold. And then when Kyle is responsible for 9/11, oh, dude, it's so funny. Oh my god, people, I don't understand. People are like, yeah, it's not funny, dude. That's totally funny. Oh my god, it's so funny. And then when Butters becomes a pimp, do you know what I am saying? Oh, dude. Oh, yeah, yeah. Just index provisional income tax, 100%. Absolutely. My man Celtic, paying off mortgage is awesome, but the homeowner must leave significant cash money aside for every property tax, expensive home. I cannot agree more. Expensive home repairs, absolutely. We just got our property tax bill, not a property tax bill, our assessment. Our assessment went pretty high. Our assessment went up by 50%. Our homeowner's assessment went up by 50%. And we'll see what our home tax are going to be. Of course, our homeowner insurance is through the roof. Home repairs freaking suck donkey balls. I completely agree. Just because your mortgage is paid off doesn't mean you don't have housing costs. Completely agree. Social security is a backstop. Everyone, look at my man Wellington. Wellington's here. Look at this guy, Lord Wellington. Welcome back, Josh. Well, I am, dude. I'm tanned, and the ladies love it. It's like, hi, Josh. Why don't you come over to Raisins? Most women are, at least one time period in their life, as you would say, hot chick. Yeah, I completely agree, dude. Chicks are the right. All chicks are the right thing. You don't want a party, a helmet party. You want to have chicks. Chicks make things more excitable. That's just a fact. I guess unless you're gay. If you're gay, you probably don't want chicks. I don't know. I'm not gay, but chicks always make the party funner. There's all there is to it. Left and right have to agree. It isn't going to happen. We'll see. 9,000 in taxes. So, Josh, that's roughly 50,000 a year. I'm not sure what we're saying. I'm not sure what's going on here. 108. What the hell you guys talking about? YouTube, IG. Oh, what I'm making from YouTube? It's not that anymore. It's not. So it's not that anymore. I think last year I made 36,000 or so from YouTube. I'm not, it's better than the hole in the head, but I think 1 year. I wish it used to be able to give you. Let's see. I'll tell you if it gives it to me. Give it to me. Going back to Andrew's thing, the facts are if they don't come up with a solution, we're going to lose 25% of our benefits. That's just a fact. So a solution is going to have to happen. There's no two ways around that. And the solution is going to be a change in the law somehow. I mean, it's literally just that simple. Because if people think they're going to allow the 80 million people on Social Security and more to come every day to take a 25% kick in the butt, as the economy will then, of course, go into the crash like we've never seen, Great Depression times 5, it's just not going to happen. So what will the solution be? It'll be a change in law somehow, but it's going to come. All right, so let's see here. So my revenue, if I can find. All right, so okay, yeah. So like for instance, April and May I only made not even enough to pay my mortgage. So $2,200, $2,000 in May on this channel. And I have my other channel which does all right. So between my two channels is enough to pay my mortgage. But April, May have been the lowest I've had in literally a long time. That's for sure. I can't wait. It's not showing me. But again, I enjoy this. I mean, that's the point. It's like if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. All right, so let's see here. I think I can 2024. I made 34,000 on YouTube, 2024. Yeah, so 34,000 on YouTube. No, that's just for this channel. The other channel, I'm not sure, but yeah, again, sit here and yap and do stupid videos. I made 3,000 a month. Not too shabby. I'll take it. YouTube, IG, and TikTok can nuke and delete accounts at any time, so content got to be really attuned to the platform. 100%, man. That almost what happened to me. In fact, somebody emailed me today about what did he say? Because I said I already did that video. Oh, that's what it was. He goes, "Can you believe what these guys were trying to do to promote the COVID steps? In terms of to reduce this, to promote the vaccines, to promote the mask and stuff." That how they're trying to, sociologically make it seem like the good guys versus the bad guys. And I said, dude, I did that video in June of 2020 because I've got an email from it was a CDC. I don't think it was a CDC. I almost want to think it's Health and Human Services. But I got an email. Was it a study I read? Maybe it was a study that said, how can we help these kids to support jumping on the mask train? And they had all these questions like, would you be more inclined to support this with all these things? I said, this is just pure propaganda. And then literally 2 months later, and I said, it had nothing to do with protecting yourself because no one wanted to look like a puss. So they're like, no, I don't want to look like I'm wearing a mask to protect myself. But instead they said, we're going to wear a mask to protect others. That's how I'll never forget that. I did a video on it, and my channel almost got nuked. I mean, I was like one strike away from getting my channel nuked. And I would have, once it's nuked, you can't come back. I mean, you can come back maybe under a different name. I don't know. But I mean, I built this channel and I said, damn. I did the video on that. I said, look how they're trying to propagandize us by falling for what they want. And they survey people, what would you be more inclined to follow if, that wearing a mask would help other people, help yourself, help children? I said, damn. And the interesting thing was, is children, got to protect the children, got to protect the grandpas and stuff, and protect others. So me wearing a mask is my way to show that I care for you. That's what it was. And everyone wants the virtue signal. And I said, it's very interesting too, because protect the children was idiotic, obviously, but that's a very, very powerful thing. People want to protect children, which is what made the whole trans thing crazy. Because those trans people, dude, the LGBT people weren't looked at nearly the way they are now, but they threw in with the trans going after kids. Just a fact. There's no trans group going to nursing homes. None. No trans group going to VFW halls. None. But they're all going after school children. Why is that? Well, you can put two and two together very easily. And I said, the minute you guys started going after the kids, you started losing a lot of the goodwill you created in the LGBT stuff. You see what I'm saying? That's a bridge too far for most people. And the minute you start saying it's okay for children to say, I want to get my boobs replaced or my freaking junk cut off and stuff, and then you start saying parents can't have anything to do with that, you went too far. And I was stunned watching that because I said, did you not learn what happened in 2020? The reason all these fools fell for this stuff is because they said we got to protect the kids. And we got to protect the others because I'm a moral person. I'm protecting you by wearing my mask. Crazy. And then, of course, we had conflicting evidence on YouTube. I'll never forget this. One idiot showed a video of how masks help, even surgery masks. And I was like, it's idiot. He's probably still on YouTube. And I could not. I said, this is insane. He got millions of views. YouTubers spoke like crazy on that. And I said, no. And I did a video on that. And I got dinged for that. And so I had a couple of strikes, and I've had one more newt. So I was in that from basically 2020 to about 2022. I was walking a fine line because we went to our anti-mask protest. My wife and I in Fulton County, Georgia. I took videos of it. I posted it, and YouTube banned me for that too. They said 2 weeks suspension, one more, and your channel's newt. I couldn't believe it. That was just mask, and it wasn't about vaccines. By the time the vaccines came on, I wasn't really talking about so much because, I'd do a video on the stupid Pfizer study. I said, people are actually falling for this. The weirdest thing, man. But I'd be very careful because you got to be very careful because, they police what is on their platform. And it's crazy, but they do. And as such, I walked a fine line. And thankfully, I walked that line very diligently. Actually, where I almost got nuked again. So 2020, 2021, I almost got nuked like 3 times. One time, Turtle Boy before he got the Karen Reed stuff. I don't know if y'all been following the Karen Reed case in Massachusetts. It just bored the hell out of me. It was very interesting initially, but man, it got so boring. And Turtle Boy changed his focus to focus 100% on Karen Reed. Other than his other focus was really going after scumbags, and I always like going after scumbags, people in high political power, low lives as well, anti-white people and stuff like this. People, and he went after some chick in Maryland who I can't remember what it was, but it's just a scumbag. And I did a video on her. I said, well, let's call her name, Joni Smith. I said, here's Joni Smith. She's a scumbag, blah, 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 being anti-white, just a pure racist. And she's white, of course, liberal. She's a Karen. I said, why would you take your dog to be trained by Joni Smith? And I showed her website on my channel. And I thought because her website was public that I could do that without any copyright or anything like that, infringement. And it turns out I could not. Well, I mean, maybe I could. I wasn't going to fight it. And YouTube gave me not one, but 2 strikes within a day because I'd shown it twice in that one video. And I said, yikes, I'm going to lose my channel because I literally had to wait a whole month. I got another strike in that whole month. I was doomed. That was kind of scary. So anyway, yeah. It's fashion, 100% Penelope, fashion beauty girls who really make the bucks on YouTube. Yeah, it's funny because I know a couple chicks back in my high school days who are into that stuff. I don't know if they're doing it on YouTube or not, but it's like, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And I said, man, they should be doing that on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Because they're doing it on YouTube. They'd be freaking making bank for sure. Of course, I knew the guy these 2 guys used to play baseball with. We always knew they were gay as the day is long, but they both want to, because they gave you cosmetology or whatever they had cosmetology class in high school. They both, one was a Vietnamese guy, and one was just a good looking. This guy was a very attractive guy, good baseball player. I liked him. We smoked a lot of devil's lettuce together, but he was gay as the day is long. He never admitted to it while I was friends with him, but everyone knew, even though the chicks all loved him. You just knew because he was a great guy, fun, funny, good looking guy, pretty wealthy if memory serves. And all the chicks loved him, but he never had a girlfriend. And it's like, we all do. But anyway, he took cosmetology or whatever the hell. I was like, oh my goodness. Okay. And it turned out he fell off his porch. No, his porch is a roof in Tennessee, and he died. 40 years old, fell off his roof, died. I found out about that about 10 years ago. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, dude. When I was a kid, I was a big Cincinnati Reds fan. What do you know about the George Foster? What do I know about the Big Red Machine? Johnny Bench used to have a Cincinnati Reds trash can, Kenny. My aunt Cynthia, who's disowned me because I like Trump, she sent me a Cincinnati Reds trash can and a Cincinnati Reds paraphernalia in 1976, 75, 76. She was a huge Johnny Bench fan, my aunt Cynthia, because she lived in that area. Look, we come from white Irish trash, that side of not my mom's side. My dad's side is literally white Irish trash. That's all there is to it. Drunken Irishmen. And anyway, she was living with a foster parent in Cincinnati when my dad was in L.A. For some ungodly, I don't know what the hell was going on. It was crazy. But anyway, long story short, she loved the Reds, and and I used to love the Reds. So when I went to go see the Reds a couple of years ago, it was freaking fantastic. It was like a blast from the past. The red with a big baseball head and the C on their hat, dude. One of the best logos ever. I love the Cincinnati Reds. Always did. But they played on that horrible AstroTurf. I freaking hated that AstroTurf. So thankfully they got rid of that. But yeah, Big Red Machine, man. George Foster, Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan, Pete Rose. Of course, the Red Sox should have beat him in 1976, or was that 75? 76 or 75? I can't remember. Dude, I just started watching, for you baseball fans, I just started watching the Game 7 World Series on YouTube between the Orioles and Pirates in 1971. So much fun to go back and watch the old baseball games, dude. It's during the day. It's such a blast. One must remember sometimes not what the women are wearing is what the men are thinking looking at them. Okay. Yeah, sand ball. That's crazy. If you know what I'm saying. I've seen cameras have to pan away. NIL money in sports, female athletes in Victoria. Yeah, but but this is well before NIL, Paul. I mean, NIL is a relatively new phenomenon. Hello, Alperts. Old music is only good stuff for now. There's some good stuff out there. The pop music sucks, but the pop music of the old days sucked too. Chicks singing metal is not metal. There's a punk band called the Violators who got a chick singing. Dude, it is freaking. It's just fantastic. Still waiting for Jeremy to get his visa packet. Josh might like Nightwish. Is that a band? King Witch. Thank you. It's King Witch, Joey, not King With. King Witch. Yeah, Witch, you already got it. Nightwish? I don't know, man. Only thing I'm wishing for at night is, you know what? A skinny-legged woman to come my way. Oh, I have one in my wife. Pogues are awesome. Pogues rock. Floyd sucks. What? Dan, you know me. You think I like Pink Floyd? I like women. I can't like Pink Floyd and like women. It's like these things are mutually exclusive. What the hell, dude? Dan, I mean, come on. I thought we knew each other. Oh, boy. 20 is 350,000. Yeah, but only made 36. What I say, 36,000 last year. I see what you're saying. That song, "Setting Sun" by Nightwish. I have to check this out. Yeah, Motorhead sucks too. Oh my goodness. His taste in music is suspect. If you don't like good music, you would say my taste in music is suspect, but because I do like good music, because I like women, it's not. Yeah, dude, my wife. Oh man, smoking hot, long legs, tan skin, brown hair, light brown eyes. Ooh. And the funny thing is, she's smart and funny. She likes to laugh. What's that stupid song called? "Setting Sun" by Nightwish. Setting Sun by Nightwish. Oh, the first thing it says is you can't listen to this song because you like women. It's literally popped up and said, "Sorry, we can't play this to you unless you like men." So. Was this Anya or Enya, whatever the hell it's called? That chick, Enya. Dude, what are we listening to? I gotta ban someone who said this. Not bad. It better pick up. Not for me. That song's dumb. Sorry, everybody. No. You keep Nightwish. That's not good. We don't want to hear any more Nightwish. My goodness. I thought I had something there. I'm like, no. That's not good. But you want to hear a good song. All right, so we're gonna play a good song here. Ready? Hold on a second. All right, right here. It's "Spandex Enormity" by MOD. Oh, wait. Suddenly from behind. But wait, dude, this is literally. AIDS by MOD. Oh my goodness, the lyrics on that are classic. I'm sure the experts, 100%, don't hire AUM. Exactly, Ted. Don't pay off your mortgage. It'll reduce our fee. Hey, Marie. I get off the Hillstrom. All right. I like Jeremy. So the Hillstrom. I miss the Misery. That's a good sound. Since you changed, don't let me I like her voice. I like it. Yeah, that's pretty. I like her voice, man. That's fantastic. 10 times better than that freaking Nightwish crap, whatever the hell that was. And like what, the dollar store? Did these guys get that CD at the dollar store? No, this is good. It's a little bit. I like that. It's not quite metal enough for me, but it's pretty good. I enjoy that. So good stuff. Here's Marie. She says, if I had to do it all over again, I'll put everything to Roth or broke down, not even do an IRA. Yeah, but I get that. But at the end of the day, remember, you'd still defer taxes to, you didn't have to pay the tax then. So, yeah, it's okay. If you have a 401k, remember, a lot of 401ks back then didn't offer you a match. I didn't have a Roth, so you had to do the 401k to get the match. So you're starting to sound like Dave Ramsey. And your cash will go crazy on that mortgage, 100%, man. That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, I like that Hellstrom. That's pretty good. Did Pulverizer recommend it? I know Jeremy, but because I don't really trust Pulverizer. No, but Fast Eddie did. All right. Gotcha. Yeah, I am the man. That's true, Scott. I am the man. 100%. That's what the ladies say. My man Greg, Sea Pines Hilton Head. I guess and Greg's inviting us to go see him down in Sea Pines Hilton Head. All right. I've seen videos where women demand that men cash app them money to pay for hair. Dude, I saw some freaking white, like the Angel Reese eyelids or whatever the hell it is. I saw some white girl at the Hawaiian airport behind us. It's like, why are you wearing that stupid stuff, dude? I was like, what are you doing with that? Whatever the hell that fake stuff is. I was like, dude, here's Penelope. All right. So what do you think about what do I think about Bezos' wedding dropping 50 million? I think it's. I don't. Look, Bezos wants to spend his bones on weddings. I don't give two craps. What I find very funny is all the right wingers, the conservative Christians or conservative Republicans, to say we'll never tax Bezos's charitable giving. We'll never tax his stupid wives funding communist outlets. We'll never tax a wealth tax, anything like this. I said, Bezos, I guarantee if we had a tiny wealth tax, you could still afford a $49 million wedding, guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, I don't necessarily want a wealth tax. This is ridiculous, though. And it has nothing to do with Bezos' 50 million wedding and his 300 million yacht. It has to do with the fact it's like, wait a second, dude. You guys have benefited because of the politics of corporations and rich people being able to push the false narrative of free trade and globalization. You guys have benefited because of stock values have gone through the roof relative to incomes. This is just, and I hear all these idiots. I don't mean to say this, but I see all these charts by right wingers saying the rich don't pay their fair share. I said, have you never heard the difference between taxable income and non-taxable income? If you're just looking at taxable income, the rich pay more. That's 100%. But there's other things that is called non-taxable income. Just a perfect example would be a Roth IRA. That's income, but it's not taxable. It doesn't flow to your 1040. So if I have $1 million Roth IRA distribution and I pay a penny in taxes, guess what? I have very little income tax, don't I? But I have $1 million Roth distribution, just for an example. What else could there possibly be? Oh, we have things called grants. We have things called charitable deductions we can do. We have all these techniques that we can take advantage of. Oh, we have operating loss and net operating losses. We have all these things we can do. And what do they have? These guys out there, than more than I know. You see what I'm saying? I was reading this one article. I was like, damn, I didn't know he could do that. What did the guy do? He borrowed against some rich guy borrowed against his unrealized capital gains to spend the money. It's all tax free. And then when he dies, the unrealized capital gains transfers to his heirs tax free, could step up in basis. I'm like, but he doesn't show any income. And so taxable income, it boggles, and how right wingers fall for this is insane to me. It's insane. I used to fall for it. I did. I used to fall for all this crap. All these same arguments I used to make myself. Oh, the rich are paying their fair share. Oh, what an idiot I was. What an idiot I was. And I said, okay, we don't need a wealth tax. Let's just make it sure that you can't have corporate charitable deductions. And watch Warren Buffett scream like a pig. I'm giving all my money away. Why you give it to Gates Foundation? Yeah, because you're getting tax free, and then Bill Gates gets to determine where that freaking money goes to communist enterprises and freaking Melinda Gates, and they get to fund the World Health Organizations, where all these anti-American, pro-communist groups. It freaking pisses me off. And I said, okay, let's just do a wealth tax. Said, no, that hurt the stock. I'm like, Jeff Bezos just sold the freaking bought a Amazon freaking yacht for $300 million. That didn't hurt the stock. It's so freaking idiotic, and that's what pisses me off about the right wingers, dude. Because these guys, some of these guys are just dumb as rocks. I'm sorry, they just don't think. They can't think because they're so anti-left. They're living this false dichotomy. If it's over there, it's bad. If it's over here, it's good. Well, what determines what's over there and what's over there? Bill Buckley, freaking Robert Reich. Why do they determine what's over on the left versus what's over on the right? How come Pat Buchanan is never part of that? Well, Pat Buchanan is anti-Semitic. Is he now? Is he? That's pretty friggin' idiotic. Bill Buckley got rid of John Birch Society. Oh, so anything who challenges the state of Israel must be anti-Semitic because Bill Buckley told us. The whole thing's so stupid. Anything who says, oh, the rich should probably pay a little bit more share in taxes. Oh, my goodness. What, you want to tax them to oblivion? No. But again, we're talking about taxes relative to taxable income. Does no one know what an effective tax rate is? Even Right Capital makes this mistake. An effective tax rate is how much tax did you pay on your total income? Right Capital doesn't do that. They say how much tax did you pay on your taxable income? Two completely different things. Effective tax rate. I have $1 million. I paid $100,000 in tax. My effective tax rate is 10%. Or I have $1 million. I paid $1,000 of tax. My effective tax rate is 1%. You see how that works? Why did I only pay $1,000 in tax? Because of that $1 million, $900,000 of that was tax-free Roth conversions, life insurance borrowing, all this other stuff. And then these guys fund these anti-white, anti-American, anti-Christian stuff, and yet we're sitting there like, oh, it's okay, it's their right to do it. It's like, yeah, they can still do it, but just not with government subsidies. Like who said Tom? I was like, what? He said, you think the rich are oppressing the poor? I said, no, I don't think so. I think the rich are pushing communism. And I don't think the government, there's an anti-communist government, should be allowing that to be subsidized by the government. The rich, if they want to fund communism, do it on their own damn dime. Crazy. Look at Drewski, a little bit late there. If Josh would make videos of being off-grid homesteading, he'd be, but those channels have insane following. Yeah, but I'm not that guy. And why I'm interested in off-grid living to some regard. I like the comforts of being on-grid, and I don't have enough desire, knowledge, or really even skill set to do those kind of videos. I just don't, because that's not my routine. I'm a financial planner. I'm good at what I do. Somehow God gave me the ability to explain financial planning concepts to you crazy guys out there. Hey, there's Marie. What's up, Marie? Look at Marie cycling. Look at Marie losing all that weight. I'm freaking proud of Marie. She's crushing. How can we reach these kids? One is 100%. One is never more for free speech when you're being censored. Your best guess when it'll never be reduced ever. Again, personal consumption expenditures are 75% of the GDP. What is personal consumption expenditures based on? Based on income of consumers. The consuming population, especially 80 million of them, are on Social Security. If you reduce Social Security for those 80 million people, you're reducing personal consumption expenditures, which will put us into a depression like we can never fathom. It's crazy. In fact, I think I just read today that personal consumption expenditures were down for the month of May, and people are going to flip out by that, but it's not that big of a deal because a lot of that was based on an initial bump for personal consumption expenditures on Social Security, getting rid of the WEP and the GPO, and they had to make a one-time payment. They're never getting cut. What I'm saying, Ted's getting it. I can't believe you took your. Yeah, right. I can't believe you took your daughter's boyfriend to Hawaii. She was like him. Yeah, but she was. She's can be a little bit vociferous when she doesn't get her way of that. So he was able to calm her down. So it was fantastic. Yeah, the 1975 Ribs. Marge Schott was the owner. Yeah, Marge Schott crushed. I can't believe they got rid of Marge Schott and the guy from the freaking Clippers, but they got all these. We're living in an up to con world, that's for sure. Marge is the majority owner. Heavy metal sounds best when sung in German. I don't think so. Dude, I heard there's a lot of Japanese metal bands. I find this crazy. So I went to go see this band I grew up with called Sheer Terror. I was talking to a guy my age who's a mechanic for Delta Airlines or something like that at the show. He said, dude, you'd be stunned what's coming out of Japan for like hot chick metal. I said, really? He goes, it's crazy. And they're good. They're like, it's good. They're not just showing us skin. They're like good. I was like, no way. And I was like, crazy. But I haven't listened to it or anything. But he goes, it's good, man. I said, it's got to be fake, right? He goes, I'm telling you, I've gone to a couple of shows and it's good. I said, hot Japanese girls playing metal. It's hard to see if it gets any better than that, dude. Really. I mean, what next? Hot Latina girls playing metal? I mean, are you kidding me? Ooh, man, imagine a hot Latina band playing Norte Mexicano music. Is that what's called? What's the version of Mexican music Los Lobos plays? I forgot. It's not mariachi. It's a different version. Oh, dude. Hot Latina chicks playing Norte Mexicano. Norte Americano. I forgot what it's called. Yeah, look at Vaughn. It was crazy, Ted. I was just watching the lineup for the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1971. Only one white guy on the team on the starting nine. They had a pitcher, I guess, and then I think the second baseman or something like that. A lot of Spanish people even back then. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how much Spanish people had already infiltrated Major League Baseball. And blacks is like only one white guy. It's nuts. And I said, look, I got no qualms. I like seeing a bunch of white guys play baseball. I have no qualms saying that. But it is somewhat, it's interesting how blacks aren't playing baseball anymore. I find that very interesting. I find it weird too. It's like, dude, you can make a crap load of money playing baseball. And I just without being injured. I mean, these guys are playing now for whereas basketball and football, basketball only got 5 on the field at one time on the court. Each I think is a 14-man roster in the NBA. And basketball is so much more competitive because it's so international. Because all you need is a hoop and basketball. Football is dangerous in terms of injury and whatnot, and football is harder. It's less competitive than basketball in terms of your competition. But I say baseball, man. It's like if you're athletic and you're not you're not 6'6", and you can throw the ball around a little bit. I'm surprised blacks don't play baseball more. Dude, if I was, what's that guy's from a T.C. Williams High School, Denzel Washington, remember the Titans? If I was doing a baseball team at T.C. Williams High School, I'd be recruiting all the blacks saying, no, screw this football stuff. You're going to kill yourself. Play baseball. You see what I'm saying? Baseball's a white sport. No, it's not a white sport, dude. It's not. It's just not. I mean, it's getting taken over by the Hispanics for sure. Never mind the Japanese. And never got the Ramones, Ted. Evan Sense. Yeah, I think I heard of them, but I don't know much about them. Aren't they like Irish or something like that? Enya, yeah, it was Enya, dude. Enya's the worst. Yeah, I never gotten ELO. Never gotten that. That was not for me. Let's see. Trans folks are being attacked by the Christian right? Really? Trans folks, the Christian rights out there beating up trans people? Really? Wow. Newsflash. I wasn't aware of that. You better start telling people, dude. You better tell people this Christian right is out there beating up trans people and videotape that. I mean, we need to see it. We need to spread the word that trans people are out there getting destroyed by the Christian right. Hey, why you say don't? What are you giving me down? Look at my man Sam. What are you doing? Why you give me down to? I do want to. I'm a Christian nationalist and want a Christian autocracy. 100%, absolutely. That's what we need. I want to bring back Pinochet. Trump ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? People don't realize how bad the Red Guards were, and the communist overthrowers in the United States and Europe and whatnot. The Shining Path and these things. The Christians on the Christian right have been too eager to please for too long, and as such, we've been taken advantage of. And yes, we do need a Christian autocracy. We do need to bring back a Pinochet. Trump isn't going to do it enough. I mean, I wish he would, but he's not going to be enough because we're still kind of halfway like, oh, we like Trump, what he's doing, but oh my goodness, any instance of some kid being deported that, oh my goodness, there's a sob story behind it. Stop the deportations. Oh my goodness. You can't, because we had so many people negatively impacted by illegal immigration that you might have to, unfortunately, you might have to go Stalin, break a couple eggs to make an omelet. It sucks, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the eggs have already been broken, and the eggs have been broken for American citizens. It's time to freaking push back. So at some point, the mainstream Republicans like, I don't like I can't be accused of being a Trumpster because we're throwing a couple people away. Oh my God, the Maryland man. And I was like, it's just, you can't have that. So we need someone to come in and say, I don't care. Trump is not going to look. I like Trump. I'm a big fan. He's a goat, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The radical left, people forget how bad they were in the 70s and the 60s. I tell you, man, this isn't crap what Antifa is doing compared to what they did in the 60s and 70s. And it could only get worse unless the Christian autocrats or a Pinochet type comes and starts crushing heads. And Trump is somewhat doing that in terms like, we're not going to let you get off with a slap on the wrist if you're going after costs, but it's not going to be enough. And so you're going to need a real strong man to take over and take charge on this for sure. It's the only way to do it, because these guys are getting more and more revolutionary, more and more vocal, more and more violent, and frankly, better trained. I think one of the biggest mistakes the right wing is doing is pretend these guys are all wusses. They're all soy boys. They're not. There's some good, heavily armed, heavily trained people out there who know what they're doing, man. And they're good at what they do. Now, are there most of them are soy boys? Absolutely. But you don't need much. You don't need. Remember, it was 3% of the United States took part in the revolution against the Brits. We won. So you don't need a huge standing army of freaking Rangers and special ops guys. You just don't. Just need some. And just because you have firearms, like I got a bunch of firearms, you know what I'm saying? Well, the last time I shot was years ago. You see what I'm saying? So just because you have a bunch of firearms upstairs, that's not going to be enough with a well-trained unit who has a job, which is to overthrow the United States. And as such, you better hope that we take this seriously, because if not, we're going back to the way of the 1960s and 70s. And it was bad. It was bad. I'm just telling you. So when you hear these, clowns like this guy, Ricky B, so the Christian, if this is the Christian right crushing, banging heads, well, I haven't seen it. The Ricky B. I mean, let's. If you think this is bad, wait till your side pushes us even worse, because that's when the pushback comes. This is just a political pushback. It's no big deal. If you think this is, oh my God, they're attacking the trans people now. What you guys have done, basically uninhibited for the last basically 20 years, is over the top. At some point, it's going to be a pushback. The pendulum always swings back, and I wish it didn't, but you guys went over the top. Just fact. And as such, the pushback will happen. I just hope it happens with minimal damage done, because we got to recognize the red guards are out there, and they want the country to fall. Can I play a little chair? Share. Blowing up my. Rick B's got hearing aids. Oh boy. Exactly. As a 55-year-old retired federal employee, it's too late for me to do a Roth. No, you can always get burned. The Republican tax hypocrisy. I don't think it's hypocrisy. I don't think so at all, Sam. I think I don't think they're hypocrites. I think they're saying explicitly, we don't want the rich to pay more. And I think that's a big mistake. I don't think it's hypocrisy at all. Do you think, I bet she signed that prenup from hell. Yeah. Do you think he's not writing most of that wedding off is, oh, dude, a great point, Ted. And when I say tax all the nonprofits and charities, I'm talking about the churches too. All of them. They should all be subject to business taxation like any business. All of them. Enough of this, dude. We're subsidizing our political enemies. And we shouldn't do that. And the left shouldn't do it, and the right shouldn't do it. We should say, no, everyone has to play by the fair games as any small business does. Women have all the advantages of marriage. What's in it for men? Well, I mean, do I really need to answer that? What? All right, we're going to take two naked people. One's a man, one's a woman. You get to lie with one. You got to choose between the two. That's the advantage, dude. You're not going to lie with a man because it's freaking butt ugly. No chick wants to lie with you as a man either. You know what I'm saying? So you get to lie with a woman and you get to make babies and love your woman and raise your kids. That's the advantage. And be a protector, a financer of your family and have your wife freaking crush and get to come home every night and see your wife, give her a kiss and say, let's get jiggy with it again. Of course, as they get older, they want to do that less and less, apparently. That's what I'm told. I'm not saying anything from experience. But, dude, are you kidding? What's in it for men? Happiness, hotness, getting jiggy with a beautiful lady. What do you want? Just go freaking, go to the red light district and drop your pants? I mean, that's not fun. Dude, have you ever been with a lady? It's like the best thing ever, dude. Being with a woman is like, there's nothing better, man. It's just the best thing ever. Having kids is the best thing ever, but you have kids because you got with a lady. I saw some meme. You could take 100 trans women and 10 men and put them on an island, and in 100 years from now, you'd have nothing but 110 skeletons. Or you could take 100 women and 10 men and put them on an island. In 100 years from now, you'd have a thriving economy. I thought that was 100% right. Because men are like women. Women know that men like women. And women know how to play the game. And as such, men got to play the game. But when you play the game right, there's nothing better in the world. Just nothing better. Trust me. About time you kept it real. What are you talking about, dude? I'm freaking always keep it real. Sam telling me to keep it real, even though Sam was like, Biden's the Mac of all daddies. Yeah, exactly. Give it to Buffett Foundation, who then turns around and gives it to the Ford Foundation, not the Ford. The whole thing's just scumbag. Anti-white, really? Who's anti-white? I'm not sure you're talking about it. The whole world's anti-white. 100%. A country of laws for the rich, by the rich, with politicians. 100%. Hey, Penelope, we need more prenuptials from hell, not less. New York may go the way. Eric Adams is going to win. I mean, the stupid idiot's not going to win. Eric Adams is going to win. How can I figure out my index Social Security age 62? Sam. Oh, my goodness, Sam. Apparently, someone hasn't watched my videos for a long time. I'll have to do another video on this. I'm not going to do it tonight, but apparently, Sam, the Navy guy, turns out there is one guy in the Navy who likes women. That's this guy right here. Sam does like the ladies, even though he's in the Navy. I know it shocks you, but Sam does like the ladies. All right, we'll do a video on that here pretty soon. Index Social Security at 62. I'm 55 now. I have a video, about 2 or 3 videos on what's my Social Security benefit if I retire at 55, and you can watch that. I think he's divorced, and he probably got suckered into against the women, took him for advantage in the courts, and they do. I mean, women take it. I tell you though, the funny thing is, and this is where I must be liberal. I'm not, but I've been doing financial planning a long damn time, amigos. And one thing I've noticed is that on occasion I've had a client be a divorced woman, and she'll get the house or something like that, which everyone's like, oh, you got the house, but she raised her kids for the doctor. The doctor went with some floozy, and he still has all the income. You see what I'm saying? And she doesn't have any experience in the workforce because she stayed at home to raise the kids. Oh, she might have a house, but she doesn't have any money. She doesn't have any experience. And she's used to a nice lifestyle. And you can say, well, she shouldn't have got used to a nice lifestyle. Okay. But the facts are the dude cheated on her. You see what I'm saying? The dude cheated on her. He paid off with the house. And there's no necessary alimony. There might be, but there might not be. Because alimony, I mean, I don't know how that works. But I've had clients like that. And it freaking sucks. You're like, dude, you have a commitment to the woman who raised your children. I don't know how else to put this. And if your children are young and you walk away from your responsibility as a man to let your wife raise your children, your ex-wife, they're being raised by a woman with no man in there, which is horrible. Children need a man's presence. Or they're being raised by a woman who's going to marry some guy who's not the father of your own children. You're letting another man raise your kids. I can't think of anything more despicable, frankly. Now, obviously, if your wife is freaking destroying you, she's making you go bankrupt, she's sleeping around, all that, I get all that. But if you just fall for some floozy because you can't keep it in your pants, it's dastardly. And I know this from personal experience. I do. When my mom was raising us, it was horrible. When my mom brought in other men, it was even horrible, worse. You see what I'm saying? You can't have other men raising young boys in particular, but also young girls because other men might be, you know what I'm saying. And then you can't have a woman raising kids because they're motherly. They're not fatherly. They don't have the same method of raising. I think his woman. Yeah, see, now that's not in like that. That's the '80s stuff. Won't mass deportations destroy Social Security? No, they won't. Yeah, Mark Shaw was freaking crushing. I saw Dave Parker die, man. Yeah, 100%. Well, I agree with that. Men are in love and women are in business. I agree with that, by and large. But the women's business is to have a family, and man has to play a part in that, and all women know that. But a woman also wants to be protected, if that makes sense. So a woman might not want to hump the sack as much as a guy does, but a woman wants protection, the ability to raise a children. I saw Dave Parker die. Yeah, that guy, freaking legend. Hey, my man Josh, what's the big deal from somebody man in the big leagues baseball? Maybe 2 Japanese chicks playing guitar. Yeah, I could watch that. I'm just getting here. Yeah, we got our man Cooper Flagg, the first American white guy in 49 years as the #1 draft pick in the NBA. He's from Maine. The first American white guy, #1 in the NBA draft, and he's from Maine. Dude, only in America, baby. Well, that's what all the baseball players will tell you, Timothy. Absolutely. Will McCovey almost took my head off in the '60s when he hit a screaming line drive in the bleachers. Like, wow, he was as biggest amount of black as night. Remember freaking Dave Stewart from the Oakland A's? Man, he had that like a Walter Payton kind of voice too. Ooh, imagine going up against Dave Stewart though. A dark guy, big white eyes. You know what I'm saying? It just looked like he'd kick your ass. I love Dave Stewart, man. That guy I remember watching him pitch for the A's. It's just like, man, that guy was intimidating. Scotch, whiskey, or what? Yeah, I don't drink, so I'll have to refuse that because I don't like men. Okay, the contracts in baseball really make injury a non-issue for the player. Yep, exactly. Yeah, right on, man. Spousal. Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't as good as I hoped it'd be. Hey, look at 401k Dexters. Hey, look at my man Christopher. Love Bites from Japan, all-female metal band, all top musicians, especially 2 lead guitars. Check out the song Holy War. They play hard and heavy, but wear white. Oh, you kidding me? All right, listen to that. Japanese chicks wearing white dresses playing freaking hard and heavy. We'll see what hard and okay. Now we're gonna have to watch that, dude. That sounds fantastic, man. All right, so Love Bites. The fact their name is Love Bites is kind of concerning to me, though. Love Bites, because that's Holy War right there. Let's see a video. Videos. All right. Let's see what these guys. Like a double bass. Yeah, that's all right. I mean, I like her voice. It's not. It's kind of like that old. That's. I mean, I like. I guess I'm a more thrash metal guy. That's kind of like '80s metal, just a little bit more up tempo on that. But look at my man Sam's and get these illegal immigrants out of here. See, Sam's a big dem. He gets it. Far left and far right are nutcases. We need more than I agree. Whether yeah, exactly. Hey, look at Ken John. Yeah, that's all right. So I'll play the Violators. Violators. Oh, right here. Oh, that's not gonna be the chick though. Right here. So here's the Violators. So this is from like 1982 or something like that. But it's gonna start with a guy singing. Let's see if I can find it. can't really hear her voice. Yeah, it's not going to be the song I want. You can't really hear her voice as much there. Summer was this Violators summer of 69 or something like that. Yeah, summer of 81. Let's see if we can hear this. Yeah, right here. There we go. So this is like from 1980. Isn't that crazy? Early 80s. So she's 1 second. Right here, you ready here? 1 second. We'll hear in a second. Her voice, great. Oh. That chick's voice is fantastic. I love that. Let's see. The Minnesota guy that murdered the DNC is no longer in the news after painting. Oh, for real? That's funny. He's not a MAGA guy. That's funny. Oh, boy. All right, Rick, I appreciate you staying on board here, man. Yeah, I appreciate you. The right keeps. You do want special rights, dude. 100% you do. Bake me a cake, or else I'm shutting your thing down. I want to be able to go to a bathroom with other girls. It's crazy. That's a special right. It's nuts. No, you guys burnt through your goodwill. I don't get how you don't see that. They just want rights and protections everyone else has. Nothing more, nothing less. The right dude, going into a bathroom with your junk with little girls is special rights. How can you not see that, brother? I appreciate you being here. I don't hate you. It's crazy. That's nuts. It's crazy land. It literally is this nutcase. I'm identify and I want to play freaking football. What the hell they want to do? I want to pretend I'm a girl so I can win national championships, which I couldn't win as a man. It's crazy. This is crazy world. No, get the hell out. I want to beat on this. The one from South Park was Macho Man Savage and the strong woman. I'm going to roll these girls up and smoke them like a cigarette. And the strong woman's like, well, good luck, Christy. Oh, you won't need luck. Oh, dude, it's fantastic. No, that's crazy land. This is crazy, 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 crazy. No one cares if you want to hop in the sack with another dude. No one cares. I'm telling you, no one cares. Maybe they used to care, maybe. I don't care. I do care, though, when I start saying, we want your kid to have to witness Drag Queen Story Hour. We want your kid to be able to get her boobs chopped off because for some reason she's been educated by the group of people, the silent P's of your group. We want men to be able to go in locker rooms with girls. And we want you to bake us a cake or else we're going to shut you down. F all that. You guys blew it. You blew it. The pushback is going to be, it's only just started. Don't you see? You guys blew it, dude. It's crazy to me. But again, you're the guy who said the Christian right is out there beating up LGBT people. We know it's not a fact off. And I saw a video today of the same group of people in San Francisco beating up just reporters. I was like, why are they being prosecuted? You guys blew it. You did. And I just, the sad thing is, where your base is, unfortunately, is these black women and rich white liberal women. That's it. And so a lot of black women who are raising boys, unfortunately, and they're not raising them to be manly. They're just not. And as such, they're hearing a lot of bad stuff about what it's like to be a man. And being a man's not good and things like that. And that's not good. That's creating a bad thing. And then you got these liberal white chicks who promote no different Planned Parenthood. The liberal whites, certain groups of people promote Planned Parenthoods. There certainly isn't any Planned Parenthoods in rich white neighborhoods. I'll tell you that right now, or Muslim neighborhoods, but they're Planned Parenthoods all over in poor neighborhoods. Isn't that very ironic? The LGBT silent P people, they don't ever want to do trans action at the, like said, VFW hall or at the freaking nursing home, but it's all for fourth graders. It's freaking disgusting. It's disgusting. The entire Generation Z would disagree with them. I'm sure you're talking about. Stupid to think women have the advantages. All the advantage married. My mom worked it, but off to bring no advantage. Advantage of a woman is For me, it's a variety of women. The more the merrier. The more the, yeah, but yeah. The Army Rangers were part of the group that attacked Point du Hoc. I'm not sure what you're talking about. All right. Biden was, dude, you never heard of Woodrow Wilson? Worst president ever. All right. Sam's never been married, no kids. I love women, old ones, young of age, old Navy style. Village people love the Navy. Yes, they did. The Navy love village people. But hey, look at the old lady, new to VR. Just came and sad by what it's been for a man's day. I've been married for almost 4 years. We're both we are 100%. The old lady don't. There's always going to be these MGTOW people. As much as like I don't have any problem if they want to do that. I just find it just. Why would you not even want to be friends? I don't. I like having women around. I do. Hell, I like women. 80% of all divorces are initiated by women. Well, maybe because men shouldn't be cheating on them or being addicted to porn. How about that? I see. The thing is, okay, that might. Well, I don't know if it's true. Let's just assume it's true. The question is, how many men are addicted to porn? How many men were cheating on their ladies? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. Can you say 60% are initiated by women? Yeah, probably. I mean, I get that. But again, the idea that women are the fault and men are innocent, nah, dude. Where do you think porn? What do you think porn has done in relationships? I've had clients who told me my husband was addicted to porn. We didn't get jiggy with it for many years, and I just knew that he didn't find me attractive anymore. And at some point, it just breaks a relationship. And then when she finally divorced some guy, the guy's like, "Oh, get better." So you need to get better years ago. You know what I'm saying? Porn is the evil. That's what Texas is banning porn. More power to them. It's evil. It's seductive as hell. Trust me. I know. I'm not a what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just as suspect as anybody else to that crap. So I had to quit drinking. I'm suspect of drinking, suspect of cigarette smoking. And when I smoked some devil's lettuce when I was young. My son's friends played flag in school. He said his animal then. All right. Let's get out of here. Chick medals for Sims. All this metal. 8 pound, I need a hit. Right on. I do get it right. 100%. I think Rick's electrons. I tell 100%, man. VTI and just let it ride, Anthony James. I don't know who you are. Just this is not a recommendation, but I tell my daughter who's 25, said VTI or bust, and just let it be. So man, 100%, dude. No children, no nation. 100%. That is funny. My man says Rick's electrons are out of whack. That is funny. The 2 Dexter Heifer calves are doing well. Right on. No, we're saying the Army Rangers those days are now 100. The Army Rangers in those days are now 100 Trump aren't. Oh, aren't you right on? Big town reaction channel, 100%. Yeah, exactly. Israel, the country of Israel, is not the chosen people. The political, no, I get that. We'll say prayers. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we just pray for peace on this world. We just pray for the protection of Christians all over this world. Protect those out there who are promoting, as Matthew 28, the Great Commission tells us to do, to share the gospel and spread it to all sections of the world. Some people are doing that better than others, but Lord, at the end of the day, you win. You sent your son to die for us on the cross. And just as he said, he came back to life and he appeared before 500 people. We have more evidence of Jesus than we have on almost any other historical figure. Please, Lord, let us not feel guilty about our love of Jesus, a love of you, how much you love us. But remember, you are Lord of all things, and we will all be held accountable for how we treat other human beings. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, I'm going to get out of here, my friends. God bless, and I appreciate y'all being here. Peace in the hood. All right.